Getting the layout right is probably the most critical part of the project. In the layout, you're trying to avoid horizontal slivers of panels that might be avoided, and you're trying to take advantage of the natural shape of the panel to minimize cuts. The question is, exactly where do I want my stone to start and stop? Now that you have decided where the stone goes, you can put rain screen on wherever that is. Start with the bottom of the roll, aligned with the bottom of your sheeting. The rain screen is unrolled and attached with stapler or roofing nailer. On the roll product, you will typically notice that one side has a flap that has a free piece of felt with no plastic corrugations. Install that flap pointing down. On the first row, you can fold that flap underneath to prevent insect infiltration. Next is a critical part of the installation. We want to avoid installers resting one panel on top of another, as a system is really designed to be installed up the line every time. This ensures that any variances in the panel dimensions do not stack up on the wall, and you notice horizontal wavy lines in the rows between the panels. Level lines are to be marked every 9 inches, but because of the overlap, the first row is actually marked at 9.5 inches. So how does this all work out? Very simple. Let's say we wanted to start our stone from the bottom. We mark the start and measure up 9.5 inches. Then you measure a further 9 inches as you work your way up the wall. Very simple. Now that you've got your rain screen installed and your horizontal lines marked, you can begin. The general installation order is plugs around, accessory blocks, or electrical plugs and exterior lights. Then move on to ledge components under windows and at horizontal transitions. Then we get to the fun part, which is installing panels bottom to top. Set up a simple workbench next to your pallet. This can be used for starting your screws and making cuts. Install your light surrounds as required around electrical outlets and light mount locations. These are really simple items, and they come with 4 keyhole shapes that you'll find on the perimeter. Screws are driven into the keyhole shapes as shown. You simply cut around your surrounds as you would with any other siding or masonry product on the panels. On our first row, you can start with the long or short corner piece. The only reason for short and long corner legs is to alternate the endings of the panels on the finished installation. It's really just cosmetic. Take note that you can overdrive the screws, although it is extremely difficult. We have found in testing that even if the screw is slightly overdriven, the screw head will still engage with the sleeve and hold almost as much as a perfectly driven screw. Grab a full panel, start the 4 screws, place the panel on the wall, and then bring the panel up to the line. Drive the screws at either end of the panel, and then release your hold and easily drive the other fasteners. Keep going with your panels. When you reach the end, take a measurement from the finished location to the outer layer of the stone. Don't measure to the tab, measure from the face layer to the face layer. Transfer that mark onto a full panel. Mark out a square line and cut. Cut the outside sewn surface of the stone, keeping the blade transitioning around so the cuts are visible from the back of the panel. Then flip the panel over. You can visually follow from one cut mark to the other, or use a straight edge to mark a line. Place your final stone in the row, and install screws as indicated. Going from the corner to the right has a little more to it. The under-over arrangement of the panels requires that each panel be slipped behind the one installed previously. Repeat the pattern for successive rows until reaching the top.